Shalom, shalom, chavrim. I'm Steve DeNoon, and you are watching, of course, Israeli News Live, and also News Network, Fact News Network. Almost forgot the name of the other channel we have. Anyway, yeah, by the way, just keep in mind, you guys can also watch the broadcast a lot of times over on Fact News Network. Sometimes we do throw up something extra over there that we don't put here on INL. And but right now, I do apologize. Besides myself being very sick, I'm also dealing with have two very serious cases here in our family. My wife, we're dealing with a totally different issue right now, and my father-in-law. My father-in-law is in very serious health condition right now. So we just ask you to be praying for them, and then to top it all off, I ended up getting some kind of flu virus yesterday, nauseated and all that kind of good stuff there. So it's just a battle. Just Satan is hammering in every direction he possibly can. And we are traveling back and forth too, sometimes 3 times a week. It's about 2.5 hour drive from where we live for treatment for my wife. And so I do just ask for your prayers. It's an endeavor, very much, very serious. And of course, she is the love of my life, and I know as many of you love her as well, and appreciate the work she does. And then on top of all this, her father being sick, that just really complicates matters as well, because my wife also being very sick herself, and then that just adds to the nerves. So please be in prayer for her. And again, if you want to help in support of that, even if you do it online on IsraeliNewsLive.org, just let us know that you want to help for that. It is very expensive, the treatment that we have her under right now. And we may even end up having to fly out to Colorado. So we're just waiting to see which way we're going to go on that. We're waiting for some of the tests to come back as well. Anyway, let's get right into the news of what's going on here, friends. And this is being recorded for Fact News Network as well. It probably won't be up till later, till tomorrow. So if you don't have good images here, you can check it out on Fact News Network on YouTube. And we're going to try to get I know we have the app. Brother Bill is waiting in standby, waiting for me to get with him to try to get our apps working properly, getting him the information he needs so we can get our channels up there. I'm behind even over with Hebrew Nation Radio, our weekly broadcast there. Things hit us all at one time. So we apologize for the lateness of this. At any rate, though, this here is just one of the videos here of the United States military trying to go to Iraq after President Trump has pulled our troops out of Iraq there. And this is in what is called the Kurdistan region of northwestern Iraq. And the people are just not receiving U.S. troops very well there. They feel like that the U.S. has abandoned the Kurdish people inside of Syria. They're very upset. They're blocking the roads there, not wanting the U.S. military troops, or not welcoming them into Kurdistan, a part of Iraq, and which also is kind of a little bit awkward here, because some of the places that they're going is also, from the intel that we had received there, is where the ISIS militants were relocated to. So it's really kind of a weird situation. And I realize the Kurdish people do not realize that American troops just have to follow orders. The American troops, they really want to help the Kurdish people. They're not there against the Kurdish people. They would love to be able to help the Kurdish people, but unfortunately, they're at the mercy of whatever the U.S. president decides to do. And so this is just one, and this is on AWAAA, CHIAA, Ally America, Jan, I don't even know, that's what's on the screen there. I can't really tell what that is. It was put up by Deshani Morad on their Twitter channel, is where we actually got that feed at. Besides that one there, we also have this one here. This is when they were leaving Syria, put up by Radal English, which this is Rupley's raw footage here. And again, mostly it's raw, it's fruit and stuff that's being thrown at the vehicles. and just a way of saying, you know, they're not happy about what's going on with U.S. forces leaving the area there, and what they feel like has, you know, they have abandoned the Kurdish people in doing so. And again, you know, the soldiers can't help what the president has chosen to do. You know, they're kind of like stuck. They would gladly be there to protect the people, but you know, President Trump has saw that that's not necessary, right? So this is really a bad situation. But here's what's interesting. RT is bringing out an article today, and I thought the article was very interesting because now Trump fully prepared for a military action against Turkey, according to Pompeo. Now Trump wants to take on Turkey in an open battle. Why? Because he doesn't care about the Kurds, naturally, but he does care about the oil in Syria. So anyway, it says here, U.S. President Donald Trump is fully prepared to use military force against Turkey if needed. Secretary of State Mike Pompeo has, can't quite see without my glasses, Steve, but I can't see because they're dirty too, has declared, qualifying the statement, insisting Washington prefers to use its diplomatic powers. We prefer peace to war, Pompeo told CNBC in a taped interview that aired Monday afternoon. But in the event that the kinetic action or military action is needed, you should know that President Trump is fully prepared to undertake that action. Wow. You know, you abandon your allies. You abandon them right there on the battlefield, fully knowing that Turkey is coming in, fully knowing that Turkey is sent in order to free the ISIS militants so that we can bust them into Iraq to retrain them to retake Iraq back because you're afraid you're losing power in Iraq. And then you're going to bring them back into Syria again to try to finish the job with Assad. You know, there's a lot of things going on, friends, that you guys just, I'm telling you, I'm getting close. I am getting close. Okay, let me show you something here. I'm going to give you just a little idea of what I'm talking about, all right? I don't know how well you guys can see this on your screen there, okay? That there, just a little piece, and I have now at my disposal 200 documents. This is a money laundering trail that is going on. Many players involved, including very high Russian officials, oligarchs. We're talking about a lot of individuals here in the United States as well. Trump just happens to pop up in the mix here. And I have the information to show you who's more involved in Ukraine, Trump or Biden. Well, and then we get all this sickness I have to deal with at the same time. But this week, I'm going to release the first bit of this information. Speaking of that information as well, let me deal with another issue as well that's going on. The case of Assange. RT says, I can't think properly is what Assange is saying. He's disoriented as the court rejects the delay for extradition proceedings. Now, I also have information at my disposal that has a money trail with WikiLeaks. But let me clarify something when I say that. Same whole conglomerate of money laundering, corruption, everything you can possibly imagine. But I was told by those that are the sources for all this information, Julian Assange, they believe, is pretty much a patsy. He doesn't even realize who's behind this really going on. But their accusations, and I'm going to have to say this as accusations, alleged. I've seen this information already, but there is a money trail to WikiLeaks that is alleging certain people in the administration behind that. I'm going to leave it at that right there. My focus is going to be on Ukraine, and I'm going to be going over the documents. I have 90 pages of supporting documents for Ukraine. I'm going to be bringing this out. And, you know, listen, I believe, friends, that we just need to know what the truth is. And we need to know now because I'm not for impeachment, nothing like that. I'll just tell you straight up. I don't think that's the answer to anything. But you need to at least know what's going on. And then you can make a decision how you feel in your own heart which way you should go. And I'm certainly not saying go Democrat either. I don't care. Listen, I'm not Democrat and I'm not Republican. I'm Republican by, as far as the old days. I learned a long time ago. Didn't bother if I voted or not. When I worked with these bunch of clowns and I saw that the Republicans were bailing out the Democrats and vice versa, the Democrats, the Republicans, and I saw that they would assassinate this person or assassinate that person because they were afraid they were going to uncover the money laundering operation, the drug smuggling operation that was going on, or from South America, or if they were going to take and, listen, it's the same old story. That's what these documents are. All it is, the same story. It's just how they launder the money, how the organized crime is working in America. But now the Russians are heavily involved. I used to think there was no Russian collusion. In fact, my whole thing with when people were giving Trump a hard time, I'm like, I got different issues that I have the way Trump is handling things personally. But that was really kind of minor. And when it came to the Russian collusion, and they said, oh, his people have been talking to the Russians and behind the scenes and everything, and this is Russian collusion. I'm like, what's the big deal? So what? The president's trying to make peace with the Russians. I was all for it. And I kind of thought it was very childish of the Democrats to be against President Trump over them trying to work with the Russians. I had no idea. And I'm sure Democrats are going to have a field day with this. But the thing is, Republicans need to get their act together. I'll just say it like that. Republicans have got to get their act together. You want to do something good for the nation, we need a good, honest candidate. And I don't know if there is any such thing anymore. Look, you want to make a vote for Jesus Christ, you're sure to win. You're not going to lose if you vote for him. Hands down, if you got Jesus Christ on your side, you're going to win. I used to think Putin was a good guy. He's over there helping Bashar al-Assad, only to find out he's not there helping Bashar al-Assad. He's helping Israel to overthrow Bashar al-Assad in order to be able to get what Russia wants, what the United States wants, and what Israel wants. So every guy I thought was a good guy turns out to be a bad guy. That's why I'm really beginning to realize that, hey, vote Jesus, you got it made. You don't vote Jesus, well, I don't know where you're going to end up at. It's just all a mess. By the way, Russia's out showing off their S-400 system that they can shoot down things out of the sky. Well, it didn't do Iran a whole lot of good, though, did it? Iran bought the nice S-300 system, and then Russia turns around, Putin gives all the codes over to Israel so that Israel could just fly all over Iran and didn't even matter. And listen, I'm not sitting here trying to make Iran sound great either. Hey, there's corruption in every government on the planet. After all, when Jesus was taken up by Satan and showed all the kingdoms of the world, Satan said, these are all mine, I'll give them to you if you'll bow down and worship me. And he said, I ain't doing it. So I don't care what nation it is. I'm not for any political system, any nation there is. I'm for Jesus Christ and Jesus Christ alone. We've tried to report the news, try to tell you what's going on and stuff. And after all, I don't think Jesus would be not for one single bomb that's made whatsoever. All right? And when he comes to destroy all the evil that's on this earth, that thing does fly fast, so I will tell you that. I guess they're trying to show this off for the Saudis. They know the Saudis got a lot of money. They want to sell some to the Saudis. Yeah, Putin's like all the rest, trying to make money. You ever notice, too, you ever watch the beginning of RT News? As their little world goes around, I always notice they don't really quite come out with the Star of David on there, but especially look at England. It looks just like the Star of David, but they kind of round off some little edges there. I'm kind of wondering if this is not a Chabad organization. I know they say it's funded by the government. Who's it really funded by? And there's some great folks at RT. Listen, I know some of the journalists there, really great folks there, and I appreciate them. I love them. I appreciate the work they're doing. But after all, you go to tell the truth, nobody really wants to hear it. And I did find that out too. Once I started having this information, because it also includes Putin involved in all this as well, It's funny how quick RT people don't want to touch it either with a 10-foot pole. We'll see. We'll see who wants to really pick up the truth when the truth is put out there. By the way, good friend of ours, Tracy, and I'm going to put this link in the description for you below. Tracy and her family spent many years over in Iran. And on her channel, she's got a small channel there. It's actually under her name, Tracy, Tracey, and her last name, Nourouziani. You'd like to get a look at Iran, what Iran looks like. Tracy's channel is a good place to look at that, get a little inside view of what Iran's like in everyday life over there. And she shared this with me. And, you know, because we've got friends and everything from all over the Middle East there. We've got quite a few friends that watch the channel from Syria. And most everybody that does watch from the Middle East are Christians. All right, and I'm not going to say who is, who isn't. I'm just saying a lot of the people that watch are normally Christians that watch our broadcast, but we also got a lot of Muslims that watch as well. And so, you know, God bless you for watching. And but at any rate, on Tracy's channel here, she does share some of that. It's under her name, and I will put this in the link after this video post up a little bit later there. So if you'd like to subscribe and be able to see some of the footages that she shared, some of it's about her family as well. But I'm sure it'll be a blessing to you guys. Anyway, thank you for watching. Thank you, moderators. I don't say it nearly enough to all of our moderators that we have out there. Just such a precious bunch of sisters that help with this to keep things running smooth. And I realize we're being shadow banned even by YouTube now, so they make it look like not many people are watching anymore. But listen, and plus too, with everything going on, kind of behind, a little bit behind right now. So we'll try to get all that straightened out. Thank you, and God bless you for watching. Erev Tov.